Hello everyone, and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode of Friday Night Explore, a very special Black Friday edition, Golgari food deck. So everybody's probably full now. Everybody really wants to get rid of their leftover food from Thanksgiving. And what better ways to do that than to give it to our little kitty cats, and they'll eat it, and then they will drain all of our opponent's life. That's the whole idea of this deck. Now, I played this version of the deck when, I forgot, I think it was when Blooming came out, because they gave us Ygra, the Ygra, the Eater of All. And the idea of this deck is actually insane if you think about how this works, right? Ygra turns all of our food, all of our creatures into food. Actually, all creatures into food. Our creatures as well. So what happened is that, well, our Cauldron Familiar is not only a cat, but also a food. So what we can do is sack one cat to return another cat from the graveyard, because it requires us to sack a food, and then our cat from the graveyard comes into play. This cat gets sacrificed into the graveyard, and then they will, cycle each other, right? So we can always sacrifice one familiar for the other familiar, and it's an infinite loop that our opponent can't stop. What's crazy about this deck is that that is an instant speed ability. It does not say you can only activate as a sorcery. A lot of cards nowadays say that, but this not this one. So if we have 3 or somehow 4 Cauldron Familiars either in the graveyard or in play, what Ygra can do is we can sacrifice one, and if they interact by trying to kill our Ygra, we can in response do that again. So then we'll just kill them anyways with that. And that's such a sick combo. I feel like this is one of the really, really good combo in Explorer and Pioneer that is still kind of overlooked. So I'm going to talk about it and I'm going to play it. Now, of course, in the early game, turn 1, we're going to have 4 Cauldron Familiar, 4 Gilded Goose, 4 Stitcher Supplier as our tempo creature play. We also have 4 Scavenger's Talent and 4 Witch's Oven to help us activate our abilities to get food into play. Now, the better thing about this is Witch's Oven can also just sacrifice Cauldron Familiar to make food. So it's kind of like a slower version of Ygra. It's not infinite, but it might as well be. If it takes a lot of turns, but we'll get there. And Witch's Oven also makes it so that all of our creatures on board have protections against some of the exile spells, because we can always, when they're trying to target with an exile ability, we can sack them to the Witch's Oven and make them into food, and then we can sack the food and bring back Cauldron Familiar, or sack the food to the Gilded Goose to get extra mana. So that is very useful. And Scavenger's Talent can also help us mill cards into the graveyard, right? The level 2, whenever we sack a permanent, target player mills 2 cards, mill ourselves, we can try to get Cauldron Familiar into the graveyard as quickly as possible. So the deck actually has an insane amount of synergy, but we also need a little bit of removal. So there's 4 Fatal Push to remove early game creatures, all the way up to a 4 CMC. So things like Archfiend and Shieldred can definitely get handled. And then we also have 4 Thoughtseize to disrupt our opponent's potential disruption. So all of that, turn 1. All turn 1 packages. Turn 2, all we have is 4 Deadly Disputes and 4 Cash Grab. So Deadly Dispute, of course, sack a creature, or actually sack an artifact or creature. A lot of our decks are also artifact. A food token is an artifact. You can sack that to draw 2 cards and create a treasure token. That's an insane card. A lot of people forgotten how crazy this was back when Baldur's Gate. Actually, no. This was the first D&D set. Back when the first D&D set was in Standard, every black deck ran this card. It's so insane. It's a 2-mana draw 2. Right? And you also get a treasure, so it's a little bit of ramp. So that's what this card does. And then Cash Grab. Cash Grab is not that great, but it is a milled ability. Mill 4 cards is a lot into your graveyard. It's basically draw 4 for this deck when you think about the things that we put into our graveyard. Almost. But more importantly, it says return a permanent mill this amongst these cards into your hand, right? A permanent cards, so it's not just creature or land. A lot of these cards says creature or land, but we can also return Witch's Oven, which is very important for part of the deck, or Scavenger's Talent, which is also very important in part of this deck. So Cash Grab is a pretty good card, and don't forget it's instant speed. It's not sorcery. You can play at the end of your opponent's turn and catch him off guard. And of course, Ygra. Now Ygra is a 5-drop, but don't worry about being a 5-drop. Gilded Goose and the Deadly Dispute can help ramp us pretty quickly on turn 4 with 5 mana, or sometimes even turn 3 with 5 mana. And once you land Ygra, you don't need any extra mana. Just sacrifice the Cauldrons and then they will loop themselves. That's why in the land base, Only 20 lands. We got 1 Swamp, 1 Forest, 1 Takenuma, but 2 Boseijus. There are a lot of artifact enchantments we had to get rid of, especially, you know, I love the card, right? Especially Black Leyline. We got to kill that. So that's why there's 2 Boseijus in the deck. I saw some decks run 3. I think that might be a bit much, but, you know, if you see a lot of Black Leylines, 3 Boseijus. All right, and then we have 4 Blooming Marsh, 2 Darkbore Pathways. Now I only have 2 because I only have 2, right? I don't want to craft anymore. There's 2 Darkbore Pathways, 4 Landwar Wastes, and 4 Overgrown Tomb. If you have more Darkbore Pathways, you can replace the Landwar Wastes. I guess that's the idea. And 1 Cavern, you can always name Cat, because the cards that we don't want to get countered are Ygra and Cauldron Familiar. Well, Cauldron Familiar they can counter once, but I don't want the Cauldron Familiar to get caught by like a No More Lies or something that exiles. So you can name Cat for Cavern and name play these cards pretty effectively. That's the deck list. Now let's go into the games. All right, our opponent is Cyphotoxics. I don't know. Words and lands. Oh boy, do we have those lands. Okay, do we goose first? It's not okay hand. It's not great, but it's an okay hand. Guess we goose first, right? Now we definitely goose first. What does it say? Whenever one or more creature die, create a token. Well, our creatures aren't exactly dying, and he's got green. That's not fun. Alright. I feel like he has stuff, so I don't know if I want to play anything else. I'm gonna let this go. Because I'm gonna get countered if I just randomly play cards out. Really? You're not gonna play anything? I'm gonna play a Scavenger's Talent. Does he have a counter spell for this? There it is. You got it! It's not a good thing to counter. To be all honest. I can sack a food. I can sack a creature for food. Then I can play another Scavenger's Talent. Then I will sack... Did I sack here? Sack this for food and mill 3 cards, right? I should attack first. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent. That's definitely something. No, I want to level this up first. Are they going to do anything? They do not. No, should go to the attack. It's going to let that go. Right, I get to sacrifice Stitcher Supplier. Mill myself for 2. And get a food token. Oh, those are not cards I wanted to mill. Memory Deluge. Okay. So now we can Deadly Dispute in response. Sack a food. Sack this food. Mill myself for 2. Wait, what did I do? I don't know. Oh, okay, so I sacked 2 permanents. I mill myself for 4. Cool. Right, you see the Cauldron Familiar? He quit game. GG. Alright, our opponent is Yoon. Yoon. Funny name. One goes first. Less funny, but we got 2 Cauldron, a Gilded Goose, and a cash grab, so let's try this out. I got 1 Gilded Goose. I got 2 Cauldron Familiars. Don't know what I was saying there, but let's goose it up. Alright, this is mill 4 permanent and return... Or mill 4 cards, return a permanent. Maybe I get something good here. Is that the plan, though? Copper Coal Vanguard. Oh, they're gonna aggro me. If they're gonna aggro me like that... Do I want to sack this food for Deadly Dispute? That's not too bad, right? I think I'm just gonna Cauldron Familiar at least once. I can sack a food to return the Familiar. This doesn't do much. If I control a squirrel or return a squirrel card, which I don't. Okay, what is he gonna do? Where is he gonna target here? Target my Familiar? Nah, you don't target my Familiar. Come on. Don't target my Familiar, you jerk. That's 2 lands. That's not what I wanted to get. I get a Thoughtseize. Alright, I guess I Thoughtseize him first. What do you have in your hand? Do you have more? Adeline Scary. Let's get that out of the way. This acts of food, right? I can create a food token? Hey, that's what's up. I think I'm going to create a... Well, I can cash grab. But I think creating a food token gets me to Ygra next turn? No. It's kind of tricky. I want to create a food token, which gives me to 5 lands. Right? Gives me to 5 lands. Then I play a land that gets me to 6. Ah, okay, fine. Be like that. What can I do with this? I can create a food. I can still cash grab. But I think creating a food is better. Nice top deck, jerk. Go to my turn? Stitcher Supplier is something. Yeah, Stitcher Supplier is something, I think. I mean, 3 cards? Eh. I am very familiar. See if he wants to brave the element this very next turn. Because just playing Yardra's game over. Just gotta be careful if he has any crazy interactions. I get 3 life from the food. Nothing else. Another Skycliffe? Okay. What can I do with another Skycliffe? He's gonna target my Cauldron, right? Then I'm gonna lose that combo. Can I stop this somehow? Well, we're gonna have to find out. Because I can only get a... I can't sack this in any way. Typical. I can get another one in the graveyard, hopefully. Can I mill another one in the graveyard? Nope, didn't get it. Like, those top decks, just like, yeah. You don't have to be good when you're lucky. That's kind of how Arena goes. Arena goes. Don't have to be good if you're lucky. Alright, I get to return something. Did I want to return a Cauldron Familiar? He's got one land. He's got one card. White creature. Doesn't do it. Return a Cauldron. I have a food. I can sack the food. I mean, I can hardcast it too, so. None of this matters. Auto pay for a Cauldron Familiar. GG. You can be lucky all you want. That's a food. There's one like I know so much. I think he has to hit the allow trigger so many times, but he's dead. Well, I guess he's gonna rope out instead of quitting. GG. Alright, our opponent's a sword loser. We all know. Look at him and laugh. Oh, come on, just get out of here. You already lost. I got the infinite combo. I guess he just rage quit. Come on, you got the best top deck you could have against this deck, exiling all of my important cards. Yeesh. Some people are unscrupulous. Is that the word? I'm just gonna BM him for a while because I got nothing else to do. Yeehaw! Look at that rope. I mean, I would cut the video, but the rope's about to burn out. So I think we can let this end in the next few seconds or so, because this turn is GG. So he's not getting another rope. He's getting it burned all the way down. There you go. Okay. Play this. Sack this. Play this. Sack this. It's gonna make me do it, but it is an infinite. One thing Arena doesn't do well enough for Magic that you can do on paper is that when you have the infinite combo, you can just kind of declare, show the loop, and that will be the end of the game. But on Arena, of course, you have to go through the loop one at a time, and even though it's an infinite loop, you have to show them, or you have to actually kill them down to 0. Most of the time, the opponent are good enough to just quit so that we go to the next game. But some of these opponents are like this, where, well, they're going to whine and complain about, I don't know, the game to their mommies. So we have to actually drag this out. Well, there are 6 more loops, right? 6 more steps of this loop, and he will die. He's at 5. He's at 4. He's at 3. He's at 2. He's at 1. He's at 0. And GG. Haha! Bye. Alright, our opponent is Golgari Boy. Oh boy, what is he playing? Could it be Boros? Oh, we're gonna find out. Go first. Double cash grab. It's a good hand. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, we're gonna ping ourselves a lot, but you know, we got a witch's oven. We can make some food. Maybe. I'm kind of scared of it. He thought he's me first, but it is a good hand. It's just opponent goes first really does not allow us to play much. Mystic Elves, huh? Well, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. I was gonna rig some fights. Just gonna rig the fights. I can ramp him. That's kind of funny. Do I ramp him? I don't feel very good ramping him. But he is out of cards. Yeah. Let's go for it. Let's see how this works out. What do you put in? Oh, it's face down anyways. He gets a land. He gets a lot of other plays, maybe. But... well, okay, so that did not work out at all. I'm gonna die. So we can cash grab, maybe? We'll oven first. We can still get lucky with the cash grab, but that's about it. Yeah, we're almost dead. Also very hard to sack creatures. Yeah, it's gonna be very hard to sack creatures into an Archfiend. We're gonna need... oh, I needed a push too. So I didn't get the push. Deadly Dispute? Deadly Dispute does not help. Right? I think I just die. If I take that damage. What can I do here? Is there anything I can do? I can Deadly Dispute the Oven? That does not feel great. Guess we gotta play the Goose. So I gotta dispute the Goose into a push. It's like the only way to live. I can chump. The Goose can chump. Do I? Don't think I need to pay the green anyways. I'm gonna lose this 2 life. But that might be... I mean, I dropped a push, right? Oh! I got a push. What do you know? I'm gonna push this turn anyways. Yeah. Let's wait till the end of the turn. Push it. We're down to 3, which is very risky here. Another push. It's good that I'm getting these important cards here. So let's... Cauldron Familiar. I still have a push. I think I push... Do I push the elf? Do I really care about the elf? He's dealing damage, but I can chump. And I'm more afraid of another Archfiend. He's definitely gonna have more Archfiends in the deck. I'm gonna have to chump. Actually, I can just... No, I think I'm gonna chump. Take the 1. Another elf? That's fine, he's just ramping a lot. I mean, it's not that fine, but it's happening, so... Let's cash grab. Grab some cash. Check it out. That's 2 familiars. I like the Scavenger's Talent. Go into my turn here. I can sack a treasure for Ygra. Can he do anything with 2 lands? He's gonna have to sack a food, right? Let's see if he has stuff. Because he can't fatal push this. He has to go for the throw it. Oh, GG! We got him. We were so close to dead, too. King back. Beautiful. Alright, our opponent is that guy Zeus. Zeus is not a guy. Pretty sure he was a goose. Alright, gotta fight him going first. Damn it. Just because I was making a joke? We got a goose. Hello. Alright, 3 overgrown tombs. That'll be fun. So, he's probably gonna have a removal, which means I should probably put up the Stitcher. Alright, Familiar off the bat. Good. Carrot Cake. Oh, he is in for trouble if he's kind of a slow deck. Well, I mean, don't need to play Overgrown Tomb. This land also works. Then I can just play the Oven and the Goose. Maybe attack first. Think he'll trade? I don't really want him to trade, so no point doing any of that. Let's just play the Goose. And the Oven. And we'll pass turn. You can have your turn. Caretaker's Talent. That's pretty good. Not gonna lie here. But an infinite is an infinite, so... Do I sack something? I probably should. Sack the Stitcher Supplier for 3 cards into the graveyard. Get another food. Go to my turn here. Oh, it's another land. I don't want another land, but that land comes into play tapped at least. Or untapped, at least. So, we'll Stitcher Supplier it up. That's a lot of things into a graveyard that I didn't want. No attacks. I guess I can't even talk anymore right now. Carrot Cake? Alright, he's going to get a lot of card draws. But unless he has a Farewell, I think we can still get there. I just need to be able to get something that's not a land into play. Let me sack this. It's gonna kill my goose. My goose is cooked. Ygra. It's got 1 mana. If I sack this into... Not really, right? Oh, that's unfortunate. If I had an extra mana, this would help. I just want a Stitcher Supplier to die, so... I'm just gonna attack. No blocks! That's great. I think I want to use the Takenuma. Kind of afraid of Ygra, though. Like, I want him to tap out. Maybe he'll tap out? Maybe he'll tap out to try to apply pressure. No, I mean, I only have 1 Cauldron anyway, so it's not doing much. It's keeping 2 lands open. Block 1. Time to Takenuma. What can I toss in the graveyard and what can I get back out? I guess nothing. I can get a Stitcher Supplier. Just to mill more cards. Yeah, just to mill more cards. Gotta be careful, right? Since he has 2 mana, I don't know what he could have. Another Oven's great. Another Oven's just what I needed. So, I'm gonna attack first. Because if I do get a Another Cauldron in a graveyard? I think that would just be game. I don't, but then I can play another oven. Can he stop the second oven? I'll mill 3 more. There is the other Cauldron. So now I play this tapped. Now end turn. Still kind of risky. I don't know what he has, but he can't farewell me next turn. That's important. I just need to have a lot of food. Because I can respond with a lot of things. Right? If he tries to kill Ygra in response, I can do a lot of things. Carrot cake? Yeah, you do your carrots. I don't care about that at all. He's got 2 swamps. Good. 2 swamps means he basically has nothing. And if he attacks, I'm going to be so happy. He does not attack, which I can live with too. Sack the Stitcher Supplier. I'll mill 3 more. There was a Thoughtseize, unfortunately. I wanted that Thoughtseize. Sack this Stitcher Supplier? What can he have? Like sack a creature kind of spell? This is not a sorcery speed thing. The 3rd Cauldron Familiar is also very useful. This is my turn. A 4th Cauldron Familiar. Well, let's go with the Ygra. Let's see what his plan is. Because this Ygra is gonna get him. Even if he responds with like a go for the throw or something, I got another 2 Cauldron Familiar that I can loop. I wonder if there is something that he can do in the middle of that. Nope, there's quitting. You can do that. GG. Alright, our opponent is Dalakun. Dalakun also goes first. Why do I ever get to go first? Well, I did get to win a lot, and this is a crazy good hand. So, we'll see what happens. Hope I don't get Thoughtseize. Red. Alright. Instead of getting Thoughtseize, it's about to be worse. So, what do we do here? Do we... Whenever 1 or more creatures die, we get to get a food. That might be important, right? Yeah, I think it might be important. It's still so good to use a Cauldron first. You know what? I have to do this first. I gotta try to survive as long as I can. Yep. Yep. It's something. I mean, it has to happen. So let's now... Okay, well, I guess it doesn't matter which one I go first, but... Well, Scavenger's Talent into a Stitcher Supplier. We'll mill 3. That's 3 lands. Okay, good. I mean, I guess I don't really want those lands anyways. I block ye. Didn't have his burn spells. That's another Cauldron. We got a food token. Light up the stage. Pays 3 mana to light up the stage. Cool. He does nothing. So, I'll bring the Cauldron back. He can Lightning Helix me next turn. So do I want to... Do I want to play the Overgrown Tomb here? I can mill 2 cards. I don't need to mill any more cards, I think. It's more important right now just to... What else can I mill into? I don't think there's anything. I want to Deadly Dispute my Cauldron Familiar, right? So I want to definitely be able to do that. And if I do that right now, I get a food token. So maybe I should do that right now. See what I can get, and then decide from there. play this. Two Yardras. Is that lethal? It's lethal next turn. I just gotta hold on. Well, I gotta hold on to my food too, I think. That's kind of the trick. Helix me? Alright. That's something. Light of the stage. Fine. Boros Charm? You played a land this turn, right? I'm pretty sure you did. Soulscar Mage. Alright, that's GG. Stupid red decks. Whenever a creature, one or more creature you control die. So, we'll sack a food to bring this back. Then we can use it to block. It dies, so we can get another food. Just go to my turn here. Get another Thougseize, but that's fine. We just paid a 2 life. On the very edge, but that's all we need. Sack this food to get a Cauldron Familiar. Pick 1. Play this to sack this food. We get 2 food. Ah, yeah, you don't want to play no more? GG. Boros burn. Get that out of here, you raccoon. No sugar for you. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you've seen this Cauldron Familiar food Ygra deck, how do you feel? This is definitely a Black Friday because we are getting that Black Friday special. The Shuffler was not insanely unfair to us. Yeah, that's crazy, right? The Shuffler was actually on our side this whole day, and we got a lot of good draws. We got a lot of good plays, and the Cauldron Familiar always came out on top. Every single one of these games we won by having the Cauldron Familiar's infinite loop, which is insane, but I guess that's how good this deck is. Crazy how effective, how efficient, actually, I should say, this deck is, because we were very easily able to get Ygra onto play and then sack the Cauldron into a loop and win games almost every game. And of course, one thing I didn't even have to do is get to level 3. Because if we had nothing else, we can always get to level 3 on the Scavenger's Talon and bring Ygra back from the graveyard. That's definitely something that you can do. If you accidentally milled it or your opponent killed a Ygra, the Scavenger's Talon can bring it back. And it only costs 3 mana because you have to sacrifice 3 other non-land permanent. Guess what? We got a lot of food tokens hanging around, right, on the board because of all the creatures dying. So we'll definitely be able to have those 3 food to sack to the Scavenger's Talon for level 3. This is an insane deck. I actually am surprised it's not top tier in the Explorer Pioneer metagame. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing about the amount of disruption that this deck could receive. Maybe we just got really lucky today, but I had a blast. I had a fun time playing this deck, and we stomped all of our opponents. None of them even had a chance. The one Golgari deck that had a chance because they got Archfiend out on turn 3 on an unfair play like that, we were able to still last long enough just by, Fatal Push. We got really lucky drawing Fatal Push. After milling a Fatal Push, we draw another one. I did not believe that was going to happen. It did. And then we won the game that way. All right, so then we won the game after the Archfiend is gone. Then we can start sacrificing our creatures to card draw, sacrificing our creatures for life gain, for food, and then the Ygra cycle will just kill them outright. So yeah, very fun deck. I'm loving it. That's really all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.